Congress and President Trump are talking about increasing the current $600 stimulus check to $2,000. So everybody's asking, how much money am I going to get? And I'd like to answer that question for you in this video today. Hi, my name is Steve Hunt. I'm a certified public accountant, and I'm the consultant for prosperity and adventure. I'm also the owner of collegetaxrefunds.com, where we help recent college students and their parents and families get thousands of dollars back on old taxes that they don't even realize they missed from prior years. So please check out collegetaxrefunds.com. And I've made a couple videos before about the COVID-19 stimulus checks, and if you haven't watched those, please subscribe to my channel here and go back and watch those other videos where I talk about the $600 payment that is already on its way to American families across the country. And now I want to talk about whether or not that's going to increase to $2,000. And if you're subscribed to my channel, you'll get any future notifications of other videos I make about stimulus payments or taxes or wealth or adventure or anything else I like to talk about on this channel as the consultant for prosperity and adventure. So after President Trump signed the $900 billion COVID-19 package into law on Sunday, December 27th, the IRS and Congress and everything already started working on sending that money out to all the Americans who qualify. So $600 per adult and $600 per child who is claimed as a dependent who is 16 years old or younger. And that money is already on its way to you if you filed a tax return in 2019 and if your income was below $75,000 if you're single, and below $150,000 if you are married filing jointly. Now, if you already got the first stimulus payment earlier this year, then you will be seeing this next stimulus payment also in the same manner that you got the first one. So if it was deposited directly into your bank account, you can expect that this one will also be deposited directly into your bank account in the next few weeks. Now, if you have a dependent child who is 17 to 23 years old, you will not get $600 for them. As I mentioned in a previous video, there is a way for them to claim the $1,200 stimulus check from earlier this year, as well as the $600 second stimulus payment, if they file their own tax return in 2020, meaning this coming spring in 2021, if they file a 2020 tax return and they file it independently, so their parents do not claim them as a dependent. You'll need to talk to your CPA or your tax advisor about whether or not that your child, your college student age child, is allowed to file their own taxes independently, because they have to have provided for at least half of their own financial support. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me by going to collegetaxrefunds.com/contact, and I will answer your questions directly to you in an email. You can also put your questions below here in the comments section, and I'll try to answer them here. So, once again, $600 per adult, $600 per child, 16 and below, if your income is within the appropriate limits. That's already on its way. But yesterday, Monday, December 28th, 2020, the House of Representatives passed a special standalone add-on bill that increased the $600 per adult to $2,000 per adult. So if it passes in the Senate, and if President Trump signs it into law, which it was kind of his idea, so you would assume that he would sign it into law if it passes the Senate, then the amount that goes to you would be increased to $2,000 per adult and still $600 per child, 16 and below. That means for a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children under age 17, you're going to see, instead of the $2,400 that was already on its way, you'll see $5,200 getting deposited into that family of 4's bank account. So that's $4,000 for the 2 adults and $1,200 for the 2 children. Once again, the children who are dependents ages 17 to 23 will not receive the $600 stimulus, but they can get the $2,000 stimulus again if they are able to file their own 2020 taxes independent of their parents next year. If you have any questions, again, ask me or reach out or whatever at collegetaxrefunds.com/contact. Now, there's still a question as to whether or not this new bill is going to make it through the Senate. The House of Representatives passed it overwhelmingly, and that was with bipartisan support, Democrats and Republicans. Democrats generally support increasing the stimulus payment to every American. Republicans generally do not support it for reasons that they believe the deficit spending is too high and they shouldn't be borrowing so much. This was a $900 billion relief bill that was passed already by the president. And in recent weeks, they also passed a $750 billion bill that means that they're spending a lot of money right now. And so many Republicans are worried about spending so much money. But the Democrats say the Americans need this and we need to pass this into law. And actually, President Trump agrees with the Democrats on this one. He says that we need to pass this, and he's calling on his fellow Republicans to increase the stimulus payment from $600 to $2,000. So we're waiting on the Republicans in the Senate to decide whether or not they will pass it. Today, December 29th, 2020, Tuesday, the Senate raised the opportunity to pass it unanimously, basically saying, look, if there's nobody objecting, we're just going to assume it has passed unanimously. And they said, does anyone object? And there were objectors, one of them being Senate Majority Leader McConnell, who is the Republican Senate Majority Leader who decided to say, look, we're not going to do it this way. We're going to have an actual vote, an actual discussion, an actual debate about it. So we are waiting in the coming days for the Senate to debate and discuss whether or not they're going to pass this add-on bill to increase the COVID stimulus payment from $600 to $2,000. If they pass it this week exactly as it is, then President Trump will, we assume, pass it into law, and sign it into law, and then we will see those checks come out in the coming weeks. If the Senate does not pass it, then we will only see what has already been passed, $600 per adult. If the Senate passes it but changes a few things, which is what some of them want to do, they want to throw other pieces of legislation into this bill, then it'll have to go back to the House to be passed. And there's a question about whether or not the House would pass it with additional provisions in the bill. So we don't know. We really just don't know at this time if the stimulus payments are going to be increased to $2,000 or not. President Trump and the Democrats are on board. The Republicans in the House are also on board, but the Republicans in the Senate could block this increase. It depends on what they decide to do this week. I believe they go on recess or they leave for the rest of this congressional term on Saturday. And so we'll see whether or not they are able to get this passed before that happens. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And you can also, again, reach out to me at collegetaxrefunds.com/contact. Have a great, happy new year. I hope to be making another video soon about exactly what the Senate does. Hopefully, for those of you who are looking forward to that money and who need that money, they will pass that and President Law will sign it into law, and that money will be on its way to you. Have a wonderful, happy new year.